Welcome back, everybody. How y'all doing? Just doing this little portrait set. I got about another hour or two. And I think I'm going to save the rest for another time. I got some other stuff to do. But yeah. I'm going to get back to it. I'm also getting a time lapse. So I will be posting like the time lapse of this little session here. Let me go to my I'm trying to. Oh. Right, there we go. Oh no. I've been slightly touching it. I'm trying to really challenge myself to get the smoothest. That's why I'm still at this bottom. I don't want to get the smoothest of the smoothest. I know in order to accomplish that, you really got to barely tap. Keep layering over. Getting a little cross hatching here and there. Try to blend out almost every dot. Kind of sounds impossible when you talk about it though, huh? Mix that down. I'm currently running at 7.6, well it's supposed to be 7.5 volts. I used to do it at a real slow speed, but that's the purpose of the study. I see moving pretty fast is getting a better blend, but at the same time when you're moving slow, like say 6 volts, I think you get to layer up a lot more. That's why I think when I do my portraits, I'll be at a slower speed. The skin could take a lot more, a lot more banging. Versus it moving fast, they're gonna better traumatize the skin up. People swell fast and all that. I think moving slow definitely helps the skin from swelling. Also helps you be able to layer your tones a little bit more. Like I said, I start at light, the lightest tone, and I'll go back and just try to build up on top of what's there if it needs to be darker. Because you don't want to start off with the darkest part of the shirt or the jersey, and then it's like, oh dang, that was supposed to be lighter. So you're going to start off light and start building up, and you get more confident in where the tones need to be at. You build on top of it. So if y'all learn the tattoo, or if y'all have any tips, definitely let me know. Like I said, I'm always willing to learn more and more, more and more. There's things like this, it's not nothing you can really just learn like out of a book. You have to try. Like you can learn from me telling you or from me hearing somebody else saying, oh yeah, they worked at this voltage. You know, they move pretty slow with their hand. But once you get on the actual skin, you really have to get the feel for those movements. Like cross hatching or just that light touch on the skin. You can know everything to do, but if you don't got that right touch and you ain't got the patience, yeah, it ain't gonna you probably ain't gonna accomplish it. And this is taking a whole lot of time. I think I've been on here for an hour now. And like, this all I got, you know? And I'm also trying to see how I'm gonna do those dots. The dots in the jersey, they're not black, but they're light. And then again, I might not focus too much on that. Because the focus is really on the portrait, not really the jersey. If it was that important, I would have just put the number 24 on it. But I wanted to make it simple, which I should have just put in the bag and got the top of the jersey and just landed the head. Ooh. Once I finish with this over here, I'm gonna go knock in the. I might not finish with all of this. I might go knock in the Lakers sign. And of course, I can start off with that pretty dark because I know this is kind of. It's supposed to be a purple, I believe, but you know it's not black. You know, so you can be confident not putting on your lightest shade on top of the Lakers symbol because you know it's supposed to be a pretty dark color, at least minimum medium tone. Medium to your darkest shade will do just fine for a purple. Because when it's printed out, it looks just close to black. You know. What y'all working on today? And you all see what I'm working on? Just constantly taking my time and layering up on this fake skin. And this is something definitely that will help you to gain patience. If you don't have patience, this will help you. Just use a small circle to start off with and try to get it as smooth as possible. And watch how long it could possibly take you. The first time, of course, you may think it's the smoothest you could get. But then try it again with something else. Then take a little bit longer. That's how you challenge. That's how I be challenging myself. That's what I used to make sketches and drawings. Give myself 30 minutes to draw one. You know, see how what comes out. I give myself an hour to an hour and a half to draw one. See how it comes out. And of course, the one that's about 2 hours look 10 times better than the one that took 30 minutes. You know, because more time being put into it. A lot more you can apply. That right there. We're down to the lightest light. Now just kind of second lightest. Might slide it over this way. And it's crazy. Don't be surprised though, but you definitely don't see it directly when you first put it down. But as you continue to go over it, you see it start to appear. But I believe, in my opinion, you know, the fake skin, I would say, is a little bit harder than regular skin because that shade probably would have been popped up without hitting it as much. Fake skin, I really have to like fill it in. I have to hit the fake skin a lot more than actual skin. The fake skin ain't got no pores to easily accept the ink. These are the tattoo on top of silicone. Oh, keep on pushing up. To the second lightest tone. Oh, appreciate it. How's it going? How's it going? Hope everything is going well for you. Just getting a little studying on this portrait. I think the main key with this is trying to get my smoothest of the smoothest tones. Instead of moving pretty fast through the portrait, try to make sure I get everything pretty smooth. And I might just have to come back and just slightly hit some up because I see a little bit of dot strokes, but I want to see if I get it smoother than that. And basically barely tap it, but slide it across. Roll the needle moving up and down, so it's constantly puncturing the skin. Oh, I just thought about that, my bad. I didn't know how to set the camera up, but I noticed it is upside down, but I couldn't think of a way I could have set it up to where it goes straight. But let me do that right now for you all. I just got an idea. I'm gonna set it up this way. If I turn this whole thing around, hold up. I got this on a C-stand, but if I set it up like that, that'll be a lot better. Man, see, I ain't think about it. No, it should be in the correct way now. Let's see. Oh, goddamn, I'm leaning like a fall. Oh, no. Okay, there we go. Y'all good on that camera? Now let me set it up back on the camera for the time lapse. Then I'm gonna repost the time lapse. Here we go. Back in business, back in business. Hey, how did you come about the channel? Did you look up like tattoo videos, things like that? Or you just, it just was suggested to you through YouTube? I know I'd definitely be more recommended to people that's into tattooing. Get back to it. Drop back to the lightest tone. Dab a little water. Let's capture some of this blending right here. It's just a fold in the jersey, but it also kind of show the gradients kind of right back up. There you go. Basically come across that and show a little gradients coming up off of that curve right there. Now we're getting that together. Once I soften this out a little bit, I'm going to go back down if I get too far and finish the rest of that jersey up. Go back down in that area. I might not do the whole jersey. I'm gonna do it, but probably not today. I just want, knock this Lakers sign in there. But maybe I just need to change them, bruh. Scam calls. How you doing now? How you doing? Is Mo still there? How you heard about Mo? Did it just pop up on your home screen? How you doing? Whoever in the chat, whoever in the chat. Focus on the jersey. Try not to move. Know where I don't need to be at. I went down. Now I'm gonna come up. I get a little cross action, fill it in there. So there's different techniques people use, Sometimes the pendulum, the back and forth, sometimes just the stroke, the little whipping, sometimes the cross action. I guess it's all about how you feeling at that moment. This is more of a flat piece versus the rest. I had to go on the curve. This is more of a flat piece kind of coming right down the jersey. I'm gonna have a fold in this piece of cloth. I'm just trying to go straight, get it flat. I'm gonna stop it right up and down. I see it just get super light. Use it as a little skin break. Right here, feel the dots on the jersey. With that same, well, not the lightest tone, but the tone right after the lightest. Second to the lightest. Some of the dots is real light, so I'm just gonna tap them. Not even too much of the penetration. I ain't trying to make them too dark. quick tap. Tapping them in. And I know there's more than likely a lot of ways to do this jersey. I think I'm doing something, but actually I think I'm doing it the most simplest way. As far as realistic go. But that's what the study is for. You know, you might pick up on different things, different ways to do things. Like I said, there's always more than one way to skin a cat, huh? That's just a phrase that always been here since I was young. More than one way to skin a cat. There's never one way to do things. Always multiple, basically. Because everybody don't do the same thing the same way. Especially when it comes out of tattoos, on everybody don't do things the same. Now I'm about to go on that dark side. And once I do that part, I may come to just on top of the logo. Before I actually hit the inside of the logo, I want to make sure it's smooth. Basically, it's the same way I do when I'm tattooing a portrait, like the face. I kind of always save the eyes for last, like the actual eyeball for last, before coloring it in. Because I want to make sure I focus on the face first. Because the eyes, I think, kind of complete the portrait. Before I even try to attempt to complete the eyes, I try to check around the face. Basically, it's like setting boundaries for myself, so I don't, end up Mm. How you doing? How you doing? Yeah, it's gonna come out dope. It's gonna take a whole lot of time for it. That's it. A whole lot of time. It's just about making the time to put in on the fake skin. I gotta be consistent with it. Maybe an hour, two every day. Appreciate you though. Hope all is going well on your side of the world. Hope your day going good. How you ran across the channel? You just was recommended, or you just kind of ran across tattoo stuff? And right on that side, I'm gonna add a little bit of light. Oh yeah, that's the main thing, consistency. Okay, for sure. So you just getting started tattooing? That's what's up. But consistent is definitely one of the main things, especially if you really want to grow. Being consistent makes that way shorter period of time than taking time when you feel like doing it. It'll be way longer. So you put in the hard work and be consistent, yeah, you'll be tattooing a great artist in no time. Everybody kind of move at their own pace because I can understand the hard work and being consistent and that dedication can create a toll on some people, but you gotta just be in the mind frame for it. You don't want to just work, work, work. That's one thing I had to get, balance out. Why they say the work and life balance, you gotta balance it out. Cause you'll work, 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 get all the money, 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 but you ain't doing nothing with it because you're always working. So you gotta enjoy life a little bit. I understand that. It's basically a sacrifice. So if you ain't got no family right now, something like that, definitely do everything you can. You can put in the work. I know once I got the fam, I definitely understood about balancing work and life. Because I would work, work, work. I ain't care about nothing. That's all I did care about working. You say up early morning, go to sleep late night. Up early morning, sleep late night. And it just basically was repetitive. But now I'm balancing that out. And that's one thing. That's true. It all pay off in the end. But you don't want to work too much to where you miss out on life. You say you're trying to get it right now? Trying to get into tattoos? You already draw? You been drawing for a little minute, or are you just jumping into the art world? So I say drawing, it makes a difference, but you can do tattoos without knowing how to draw. But drawing just help you with the whole process. for shade, shadows, and all that. You understand all that when you know how to draw. Oh yeah, well you understand the basic fundamentals of art. And if you understand the basic fundamentals of art, the only thing you gotta get used to is the actual tattooing process. So you don't really have to be, taught no fundamentals of the art, the shading, the lines, and things like that, because you already understand those things. If there's something that you don't understand, most likely it ain't hard for you to pick up because you done been drawing. You've been an artist all your life, so that wouldn't be hard. But first, it's somebody that never like drew nothing. You basically gotta start from square one and teach them all the fundamentals. So you'll be pretty good. And I got a video on my page that's like basically show you how to get straight lines and working your wrist, getting the wrist muscles up. Check it out. That's a good practice to do kind of on a regular. It'll definitely loosen up the wrist, help you flow with some line work. Well, definitely, man. So how long you been looking into the tattoos? Because I said you could be up and working in no time, especially since you already got the drawing ability. So yeah, just made you to the front of the line. Like you skipped a lot of people because a lot of people have to learn all of that before start tattooing. You could just get you some fake skin, and if you ever did the what that is, the grayscale from black to the lightest tone, do that with a tattoo machine on fake skin. And that'll help you with getting your smooth tones down. Yeah, most definitely appreciate it. Oh, you be busy? Been a few weeks for you? Like I said, you'll pick up on it in no time. Like I said, you got the fundamentals of art. So as long as you got the fundamentals, that's where it start at. Like I said, the only thing you got to get used to the needle, the different techniques with the needle. The main one people use to shade is the pendulum, which is the back forward. Like get smooth out to the cross hatch. You do all different things with it. And this is just shading. Colors is different because it's a circular motion to pack them in there. But yep. I'll be trying to post a couple of videos to help people just starting out with. And I just was saying, you got to kind of try everything out for yourself. Because I could say one thing, but of course, it's probably my third way of doing it. And you'll be your first way. So you got to try different things and see what kind of really work for you. Like I said, I'll shade using like a 6 volts, moving real slow. But now I'm kind of at 7.5, moving a little faster. But most likely, when I get to the face, get up in there, I'm going to definitely drop back down to 6 because I definitely got to move a lot slower in the face. That takes a lot more patience. It's been 10 and a half years for me. Started out in the house, like self-taught. I was in the house for about 2-3 years before I joined the shop. I joined one shop and I was only there for a year. Ended up back in the house for another year, so 3 years in the house. And then since that, I've been in the shop. So far it's been 3 shops I've been in? 2 or 3 shops, I don't really bounce around too much. But bouncing around is not really good for your clientele. If you're trying to build clientele, you want to kind of stay in one spot so people know where you're at. And eventually as you build and constantly build up on clientele, then when you move somewhere else, like right now I have my own shop now. When you move somewhere, they kind of already know who you are, so they'll be looking for you, they got your contact, and they'll be coming to you. Versus those that just walk in shops and they don't really know the artist. Yeah. That's why customer service is one of the big things though. You want to make sure you make that connection with your clients so they remember who you is, they know who you is, and they want to come back to let you do the tattoo. That's what separates, I think, a lot of artists or businesses in general. Because you got good customer service, people will go back. If it's horrible, nobody ain't trying to mess with you. We all have been out to eat to a restaurant, you know. Yeah, man, if you're thinking about it, it's definitely a good trade. You know, yeah, it's nothing you really got to go to school for. I already had the drawing ability. You know, what? I was tattooing. I think before I was like kind of in the shop or what? It was the first 2 years and the third year I was in the shop. But I used to be going around different shops trying to get in, showing drawings and all that. But that was before I was actually tattooing. I was actually looking for like an apprenticeship, but couldn't really find man. So that's why I post videos and stuff because I know I ain't thinking about looking at YouTube or maybe it wasn't on YouTube at the time when I started. And maybe it was. I just didn't think about looking it up to learn from YouTube. I just watched and observed other artists. Basically, I ain't had to be with the hands on. I just could look at something and just kind of try it out for myself. Watching, that's why I used to go to tattoo conventions. Do I recommend an apprenticeship? Yes, I do, but the only thing is, depends on who you do apprenticeship with because some people could be totally butt heads, trying to mess over you and really not teaching too much. So you got to make sure the person that you do apprenticeship with is serious and they still trying to grow themselves because a lot of artists I know, they get comfortable and they don't really try to grow. So when they're teaching an apprenticeship, they're doing the bare minimum basically because that's the way that they're stuck in. So just make sure you apprentice with someone that's like kind of have a passion for it and continue to love what they do. Let me put my black out. But yeah, I always will say apprenticeship is definitely good because you got the help and you will grow. I think a lot faster versus me. I think it took so long because of course I was kind of learning as I go. You know. But both ways work out. One way just longer. That's just like going to school to learn how to read versus you learn to read on your own. It may take a little bit longer for you to try it on your own. But like I said, you're more than capable of it. You got the skills to draw and all that. Just practice on some fake scans. You could still look for your apprenticeship, but just practice on some fake scans so when you do find an apprenticeship, you got things to show them like drawings. You just show some practice on fake skin. Or you might want to hold off on the tattooing on fake skin because some people don't want to apprentice people that have touched the tattoo machine. So they rather you just know how to draw and they teach you everything about tattooing because some people, I understand it, you get bad habits when you like start tattooing on fake skin or tattooing on people. You build those bad habits up. So a lot of people, it's hard to break them bad habits. That's why they rather teach someone that's fresh. So if you're just thinking about doing an apprenticeship, I would say hold off on using the tattoo machine. Just build up your drawings and stuff for your portfolio. And then when you go to a shop, you got something to show them and they'll be willing to work with you. If they're serious about, helping you. Everybody don't try to teach people. I don't try to help people out. And I think that's one of the reasons why, some people post a lot of stuff on YouTube because most of those artists were self-taught. I don't know too many artists that like post things like this that wasn't self-taught on YouTube. But as you see now, I'm on a black and I'm not just going back and forth because I got to pack the black. So I'm kind of using those small circular motions because in order to get that black packed in there, well, you said you've been practicing on the real skin already? So like real skin, or are you talking about the fake skin that's the name of real skin? Because they have fake skin named real skin. If you've been practicing on real skin, then I say just definitely go to the fake skin and master the craft basically. learn a little bit more about it. One thing that you can never practice too much is getting the smooth shades. Because smooth shades is definitely something that's hard to do. It takes patience, but that's something that will make your tattoo. Another thing that make your tattoo is the lines. Or the fake skin, real skin, yeah. Well, yeah, I heard the fake skin, real skin was some real good quality. I gotta try those out. Cause using this silicone, this is a good silicone. I just never tried the real skin. I've tried that fake rubber stuff. That's horrible. But this one is pretty good to tattoo on though. But yeah, if you've been practicing on the real skin, then keep practicing, getting your lines down. Practice some lines, like different shapes. If you got a stencil machine or something like that, or get you some carbon paper, just trace out some shapes and just tattoo it with the needle and see if you how straight you can get your lines. Black in there. But definitely, you got it. I'm about to sit on. I don't think I got my thing on. I don't know where you're located at, but I need to start adding my email. I don't know if it's on my YouTube. You know, I say you can definitely send some images if you need help. I can definitely try to critique, let you know what you could be working on. Things like that, so you can keep progressing and moving forward. You won't be working on things that you kind of your weak areas. You know, I understand some artists prefer to stay in their comfort zone, which me, realistic kind of is my comfort zone. But I also every now and then change it up, especially when I'm doing something like cover-ups, things where you kind of gotta improvise and be creative with. Where you're in Dallas, well, yeah, you're in a big state right there, so you shouldn't really have a problem with apprenticeships. I don't know how the people is out there, but you definitely have a lot of opportunity, place to look at. I know they got some shops out there. And I understand a lot of people be in their house and all that, but one thing I could tell you about that, as I was building my clientele up, as I was building my people and I was getting more professional in the house, everybody didn't want to come to the house. So eventually I was like, yeah, let me get in the shop so everybody can feel comfortable. They ain't got to come to nobody's house to get a tattoo. Even though I was clean, I used everything, sterilized, stuff like that. But just the thought of coming in somebody's house and not an actual tattoo shop just made some people feel uncomfortable. Yeah, but Dallas, I said I was definitely gonna start traveling. It was Houston in mind though. Traveling to Houston, Atlanta, tattooing. Never been to Dallas though. Never know. I'm out there. May just be tattooing. I know it's a big area. Way bigger than down here. New Orleans. Everything's so close. And it's definitely limited out here. It's not a whole lot. It's a lot of shops, but so close together. So the competition is real. Right. And I know that I said it can even make you uncomfortable by people knowing where you stay at, things like that. Yeah, so that's definitely the reason why you want to be in the shop. But at the time when I was on tattoo, most of the people that I did do in the house, it was kind of people that I knew or I went to school with because I went to college for a little bit. And I used to always pass out my cards, things like that. So people from college was coming. So I kind of knew of them, knew them a little bit from going to school, things like that. And some people were just, from right around the neighborhood. But definitely, a shop is the way to go though. Like I say, you don't want everybody in your crib, especially if you got family there. I remember I used to walk around. It is tough starting up with the tattoos though. I was getting, what they call it, discouraged. I had a whole lot of, I had just about three needles, three tubes to tattoo. And I used to walk around, just, looking for people to tattoo, like trying to get, because of course I was trying to charge a little money at the time. But I walk around, I couldn't even really find nobody. But those times came from that to now where it's like, it's be busy. Like, when you got to do an appointment, you can't really do the walk-in because it'll be so busy. And it's crazy, so just know, don't get discouraged. Everybody start somewhere. And I know the start for me was a little tough. Even now, like back then, of course, I did some free tattoos on some friends and some people that I knew. But to this day, I still do giveaways. And that mainly help you, like, benefit people know the location you're located at. So when they win or whatever, of course, they tell their friends where they went at to get the tattoo, things like that. And that kind of help people know where you are. Even like I have a $10 birthday tattoo. During your birthday week, get $10 tattoo small. And that just help people know where you at. Okay, start building trust, building up more clients, and eventually they book an appointment to get a larger tattoo with you. Some people don't want to do those things, but that's all part of growing a business. So far, since you've been practicing on the real skin, what's something you say you could use working? Like you could use progress. Would it be lines, shading, color? Oh man, nope. And that's one thing you gotta remember. I be getting used to putting green soap on a paper towel, but green soap don't really do too much. So that's one thing you gotta learn, just using the A&D ointment. A&D ointment definitely help rub the ink off the skin. I don't know how it became like Vaseline the A&D ointment, but it definitely helped easily wipe the skin clean. Oh, pull some more gloves out. No, not no more gloves, no paper towel. I'm tripping. Set the paper towels up right fast. I think I'm gonna go up to his shoulder. I'm gonna tattoo that shoulder. Then I'm gonna come back to the right, and I said I'm gonna do above the Lakers symbol. So before I do his own, I'm gonna do the top above the Lakers symbol, the rest of the jersey. Then I'll come back and tag the Lakers symbol. So that's kind of like instant gratification. It's like I want to do the Lakers symbol, but it's gonna make the thing look done. But I don't want to do it yet because I want to spend as much time on the jersey. But by doing something like that that make it look done, it's like you're in your mind you kind of get lazy. Well, to me, not everybody, just to me. So I want to save those most important parts last to finish it up. So you have a problem with your stencil disappearing. So one thing I'll say about that is what I learned on, like, I say it took me about my first year to learn that. I'm right-handed, so I must start on the right side of the tattoo. But when I first started, by me being right-handed, I was starting on like the left side, and as I go, I'm wiping away as I move my hand to the right. If you get what I'm saying? Like basically, me tattooing here going this way, I'm gonna wipe the Laker symbol away. That's what I mean by that. So I starting over here and go over. And you don't want to rush your hand on your stencil too much because over time, the back and forth movement, it definitely will wipe away. He said, what causes the lines to be off? Like, what you mean by off? Like to wipe away or like to make them kind of not straight? Like a little crooked? If you're saying like if your line crooked, That's probably just the way you're moving your hand. Now when making a line, you want to rest this pinky down, you see? Pinky down, rest this part down by the pinky. See that? Rest it down, and then you stroke like that. You're just moving your wrist. That's why I got it on method. On like what's gonna help you with your drawing is like your wrist. Moving different circles, shapes with your wrist will all help with line work. It'll help you keep it more steady because you moving your wrist. But the minute you go to moving your arm, it will kind of throw it off. So you want to move your wrist because that is more always stable. Versus moving your whole arm up and down, yeah, that could easily throw off your lines. Or you say the stencil not there, you got to guess where to go. Like I said, try not to rest your hand upon your stencil. It's ways you have to learn it. Like I said, starting down here, I'm not touching none of that. As I shaded all of that, I ain't touched none of this. But over here, I got my hand here, and I'm leaning across, hitting that. And as you notice, as I was tattooing here, I'm still resting my hand at the bottom. It never was sitting up directly on top of the stencil. So anytime you can avoid resting your hand on the stencil, it's a good thing. Because some stuff do wear off fast, but it also depends on the stencil stuff you're using. The stencil solution. Because speed stick is definitely one that'll stay strong. So if you're gonna do fake skin, or the real skin, I definitely prefer the speed stick. So the speed stick, let it sit on there. Once you got the stencil on, let your stencil stay for I say 24 hours, or really at least 2 hours to kind of dry up, but it still kind of wipe away. But as you see this stencil, it's been sitting on there for a few weeks before I got to it. And that stencil ain't going nowhere now. It's like, it's on there. But for me to get this off of there, most likely I'm gonna have to use some alcohol, strong solution, to get that purple away. So that's what you wanna do, let it sit on there for 24 hours. The stencil will be stuck. And you wouldn't have a problem with that at all. I'm about to go back to the top though. And then I'll come on this fold, another jersey. It's not a real dark tone. Really darker than the lightest tone. I don't know why the course would be doing that. Sometimes that might be like, you feel like it's loosening up. But definitely give speed stick a try. Speed stick definitely stay a lot stronger. Even on skin, no lie. Even on the real skin. Because my wife did my tattoo and she used the stencil stuff. Well, let me say the speed stick. And she don't really do tattoos, but she was able to follow that stencil because it didn't wipe away. You say what, wireless you see wireless supply? This is a box that I heard about from a guy on YouTube. I don't know, I just looked up portable battery packs. And they're about $40 or $50 each. They were pretty cheap. I need to order some more of them. And they don't even spin. At first, y'all had a problem with it like spinning. But now I don't. It's, I guess, because like plastic or something, or the friction built up right there. Or maybe when I wrap the plastic on it, it get caught in it. And you know, it don't really spin too much. Or maybe it's the what it is, the bandage wrap I wrap around the machine. Maybe it's press on that every time I put it on. Well, yeah, just look at wireless battery packs. And it's just a square battery pack, you know, with 2 dots, 2 buttons basically. They're about $40 each, I believe, $50 each. Yeah, and it's a FKI machine. But I always I was supposed to be trying some other machines. I tried out the Ambition Ninja. That's that machine right there. It comes with its own battery pack and its own pin. But yep, just make sure you take your time. Like I say, push yourself outside the comfort zone. Of not probably moving too fast, just slowly tapping the skin. That's one of the main things that a lot of people tend to do is they moving too fast. And I understand it's a difference from sketching and tattooing. Because sketching, I used to definitely sketch pretty fast. But getting on the tattooing, I had to definitely slow it down, slow it down. Oh, CNC, and that's one of the machines I was supposed to try because I've been hearing so much about it. And I heard about the Ambition Ninja, that's why I tried that one out. But the CNC machine is one of them that I was supposed to try and review it. I'm gonna definitely do another review on my own Ninja though, because it had a defective battery the last time. But this time I ain't been having no problem. Every now and then I hear the noise from it, but it been pretty good for me. But that CNC, I need to try it out. Yeah, that's why I say you gotta learn to slow it down. So the thing that can help you with learn to slow it down is turn your machine down. If you turn your machine down to about 5-6 volts, there's no way possible that you can move too fast. Because if you're moving too fast, guess what? That ink is not going to even go into the skin. It's basically like doing stippling. It's like whip shade. You whip and you're going to have dots if you're moving too fast. Because your machine moving at a slow speed. So you got to always make sure that hand speed match up. So with the slow machine speed, get some smooth shade, you want to move at a nice smooth pace. If you get whip shading and dot work, you definitely move fast. Oh yeah, at first you started off with a slow machine. I know I definitely did. Because I was uncomfortable with it at first. Felt like it took me hours just to do something small. But as you get comfortable, you gonna pick up this pace. And that's one thing you don't gotta worry about starting off with tattooing is moving fast. Move slow, and then over time you'll get faster and still producing, good work. Because you don't want to move fast in the beginning and you're not really comfortable with it. And no lie, 8 volts is pretty good for lining. No lie, because I always turn mine up to at least 7 or 8 volts. For shading, not all the time. I drop it for shading. For shading, take a lot more work. Lines is it's a 1-2 thing. Go straight through it, so you can have your machine up higher. But starting out, I say try the 7 volts and see. Because on real skin, like on actual people's skin, moving too fast, you definitely rip the skin up. So if you're seeing rips on your fake skin, then slow it down a bit. Yep, just keep practicing. Nothing stopping you from practicing. Crispy edges on that Lakers. But definitely keep it up, bro. We all learning as we go. Just look up, material that may help you along the way. I know ain't nothing like hands-on. Hands-on, I know it could be like easy to pick up on it way faster. But we all don't have that, luxury. For those with seminars to be hands-on like that. Mm-mm-mm-mm. That's one thing. Make sure when you get the real skin, you gotta know you have to put the A and D ointment on the skin. You don't want it to rip. And when you tattoo on, you ain't gotta add no pressure. Let the needle do the work. You know when the needle really going in, you feel your pin vibrating and stuff. So I do the rest of the jersey come up. And I'm just trying to whip it with this curve. On up. Now I'm about to come down in between the letters. Which means I gotta use my 7 curve magnum. Well, the way that the skin is different, like I said earlier, I don't know if you was in here, but shading on real skin, I would not have to go over it this many times. Like on this fake skin, I would say it's definitely harder to tattoo on fake skin than real skin, but it's good to practice on fake skin. Cause like hitting the line on here, I'll have to go over it a couple of times. But fake skin, I'm saying real skin, I could just whip a line, boom, 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 and it's on the skin. This I have to go over it a couple of times. So definitely by practicing on fake skin and then getting the real skin, it'll be a lot easier on real skin. Because the skin is soft, the pores will open, the ink will, the skin will receive the ink. This not really just receiving, you gotta basically force the ink into these fake skins. And you gotta learn also with skin, once the pores open and things like that, the skin is getting sore, but it's also opening up to receive more ink. So if your pores are open and I got light shades, once you hit a little dark tone, it's going in like nothing. It ain't gonna take no time. But that's the thing with real skin. It's easy to tattoo, but you also gotta look out for damage in the skin, moving too fast with your needle, because you definitely could rip somebody's skin, or you could give them a keloid, things like that, for going too deep. So that's thing that it's more risk when on real skin. That's why it's good to learn like needle depth, things like that, how deep you should be going in the skin. You go about the same amount of deepness that you go on fake skin and real skin. But the ink definitely receives better on real skin. So this is basically like you practicing before touching the real skin. So by the time you touch the real skin, it definitely look a lot better. You'll have more patience, knowing the way to go about your tattoo instead of making that mistake on the real skin because it's a permanent tattoo. The tattoo ain't going nowhere unless they get it covered. I see some of mine had, they ain't wipe away, but I can still see where it's at. But that's the thing, like I was saying, you say you know how to draw, so it's pretty much easier. By me seeing my reference and seeing what that A is, I know how to draw my A back on now. So whatever that's missing, I know how to draw it back on. That's the good thing about knowing how to draw. If you don't and it go missing, you don't know how to put it back, you basically just lost. So you really is highly dependable on that stencil. And you don't want to be dependent on the stencil like that. Because anything liable to happen, person may tap out, and you may have to come back, and you might have to draw most of the tattoo back on. Things like that. But before somebody tap out and all of it not there, you want to at least get a bloodline of it, or like halfway to where you could basically put the stencil back. I never had to put the stencil back, halfway throughout the tattoo. When people tap out, most of my like shapes be down. But if I know they about to tap out earlier, I kind of move a little faster pace but just worrying about the shapes. So when they come back, I can easily just pick up where I left off. I ain't gotta be relying on putting the stencil back down, things like that. Now I'm gonna come across that top with a light shade. And I noticed that's not connected with that K. Yeah, so we gotta put a little shade in between them, separate it. I'm gonna do some small shades, but I don't know if I'm gonna really put that black background right there, because of course, to help your stuff stand out is really like darks next to lights. You know, the lights next to darks is gonna basically, it's called contrast. You know, to help things pop out. Versus lights next to lights, it will easily blend together. That's just like a yellow next to a orange with no outline. It's kind of easily will kind of blend in with each other. So that's one thing to understand is lights, highlights, and shadows. Even if you never did like a still life drawing, put a lamp on and sit something on the table and draw it, and you will see how the light hits those objects, and that'll help you understand like light source and how it works, and where the shadows fall and where the lights fall. Because you actually use that process throughout tattooing. In a photograph, tattooing a photograph, that's basically you see where those lights and those shadows fall at. Yeah, bro, just keep it up, you know. You got it. Especially if you've been in the art world, you know. But see how I'm on this right side before I did way over here? I'm gonna do that first. Do around this, and then I'm gonna start hitting my logo on the jersey. That way when I really do get way over here, my hand gotta be on the logo. So I'm gonna make sure I knock that in there before I move way over there and gotta rest my hand on the logo. You can just easily creep your way around, you know. The stuff that you don't gotta touch until you really have to touch it, basically. And like I said, all the fake skins, I use my stencil stuff. For those that don't know, this is basically how it looks. I don't use stencil stuff, my bad. Speed stick, that's what I use to help rub it on the skin pretty smooth, you know. No problem. Appreciate you for staying in, my man. Wish you the best on your journey with the tattoos. You know, just don't get discouraged and stay motivated. And that's another thing that'll help with not wiping away your stencil too. See how I'm like kind of just dabbing it versus wiping down. And that's another thing too. If you is gonna wipe away from the stencil. Don't wipe through your stencil because you definitely will wipe it off. Even if it don't come off pretty fast, you're gonna over time work its way off. If you keep wiping it. And also dabbing like that also help the client. Because I know rubbing on a client tattoo and it be sore, they definitely be hurting with that white. I had a lot of them that told me that the white hurt more than the tattoo once it's sore. But I know that wiping could be a habit, so just getting the habit of, just dapping down. You've been tattooing a while, basically that wiping kind of a habit right there. How y'all doing? How y'all doing in the chat today? Appreciate everybody that hopped in. Appreciate it. Before I move too far up, I'm gonna make sure I go and knock the logo out. Well, I got definitely enough smooth shade around it. Make sure I hit around this L and the A. My medium, my second to lightest. And of course, when I do the Lakers symbol, I'm gonna definitely use my liner to sharpen up some of the edges. Okay. I'm gonna draw this back on with a marker. Just basically so I can follow along exactly. Like I said, you don't know how to, if you lose a line, basically just know how to draw it back on, which is gonna be right up in there. It's gonna be right up in there for me, and basically I want to shade that to create enough space. Just that line need to be there. And that's gonna connect with the A, so I need to bring that a little bit more up. And that A gonna come. Down. Down. Or the K at. Come down. And gonna stay in between now. Now that's gonna connect. Okay, connect to that. Connect to that. And make sure you leave that space. So you leave the spaces down. Yes, sir. Oh, man. Ooh, gotta crack my neck, man. Oh, good, huh? Get back to it. Might start outlining. Basically, what a purple L for the Lakers and all of that. Remember, they got white stitching on the outside of those letters. You want to make sure we leave space for that. Appreciate everybody that stayed in. Appreciate it. Hope y'all learned something during this little process. It's definitely taking some time though. Somebody take my liner and go and basically a little slight blood line around it. I don't really have to use the blood line though. I use my medium tone because I know there's going to be a darker shade inside the lake assembly. That's why I said I don't have to do the lightest tone. But here we go. Start right underneath. And give it a nice amount of space. And see how I really just would turn my wrist. I ain't really try to pull my own. Nothing like that. Just going there with our dark. The medium tone. This ain't all the way black, but it's gonna be our kind of medium tone. Work our way filling up this L. Make sure we got that space around it for the white threads. I'm gonna dip in black a little bit, dip my rinse cup so it's not all the way black, but it's dark. A little bit of black, a little in the rinse cup. Appreciate everybody in the chat, you know. Y'all have questions, let me know. Let me know if you do tattoos, like tattoos, or you just like getting them. If you ever in New Orleans and you just like getting tattoos, just know we got the $10 birthday special. So during the week of your birthday, you get a $10 small tattoo. Small $10 tattoo for your birthday week. So I'm probably gonna be stopping the YouTube live for a minute, and I might just go over to TikTok live. But I'm gonna be posting my time lapse because I still got a camera recording my time lapse for the post on YouTube. So we're gonna get a little bit of the live going on the TikTok in a few. I try to get around to all the platforms. Make sure I try to help everybody a little bit. Not one spot. Mm-mm. Appreciate y'all watching the channel, watching the live. So y'all do look in my about page. I believe my TikTok is located in there. Somebody wipe this off. I might be heading over to the TikTok. Go live because I got about another 30 minutes. Hello, how you doing? How you doing now? About another 30 minutes to tattoo on the fake skin before I gotta get up and keep it moving. Still got some other things to do, and that's why I'll be trying to find a little time to at least get to the fake skin. But yep, I'm gonna leave it like that. Like I said, I got the time lapse rolling, so I'm gonna be posting the time lapse onto the YouTube channel. But as of now, I'm about to stop it. Everybody head over to TikTok, y'all. Appreciate y'all. Everybody that stayed in and watched the channel. Appreciate it. Thanks for the likes, comments, and the subscribe. Appreciate you, Trenton. Appreciate you for hanging around. Mohu, how you doing? And Nora. All right, y'all. Take it easy for the comments. And for those that don't know me, my name Justin. Yep. Everybody keep it moving on the TikTok. Peace out.